All right, real estate side hustle training by popular demand. So side hustles. Typically, I am not a fan of side hustles in real estate, but I figured if you did the work, like let's say you call expireds for an hour, do your follow ups in Instagram for an hour, do all your tasks, follow up, and you have extra time. I'm all for side hustles in real estate. Okay. Also, another thing. Typically, you do real estate transactions. You know, um, Even if you call it expired, you set an appointment. You're about a week before it's live on the market. If you get an offer right away, that's another 30 days. So that's 37 days, right? It's still 37 days if everything goes flawlessly and it sells right away, which it never does. So typically, real estate transactions, it's 45 to 90 days from initial contact with the seller, and then buyers, that takes longer. You may end up showing them homes for a month or two, and hopefully you get your offer gets accepted. If it doesn't, you start all over. The purpose of these side hustles is to get paid right away. Okay, right away. So, why a real estate side hustle? You got multiple streams of income. You can also build skills. Maybe you have a side hustle that turns into a big deal, where you help them buy or sell, but it started with your side hustle deal. You have more freedom, more impact, more opportunity. And then, you turn today's opportunities into tomorrow's business. But typically these side hustles, especially the ones that I'm going to go over today, it's almost like a micro transaction, but you can get paid in a week, 2 weeks, None of them, by the way, well, there's one of them, but most of them, of these side hustles, there's no escrow. So it's all up to you and your ability to do it, okay? Extra income, career growth, flexibility, financial security. Number one, leasing agent. I do leases, okay? What I do is, this is what I charge. You can charge whatever you want. I charge typically a little bit less than everyone else. I charge for placement, to place a tenant. I charge half of first month's rent. If rent is $3,000, I charge $1,500. Okay, and the way I get leases, which I'm going to share this with you because you're on my team. This is my bread and butter. What I do is I go on Facebook Marketplace, and there is a ton of for rent by owners. Okay, for rent by owners. So what I do is I actually end up sending them a message. Send them a message. Send them a message, basically to say, tell them everything they want to hear. Hey, how you doing? My name is Gary. I'm a local leasing agent. I can get you tenants in 7 days with 700 credit score, with no criminal history, with no evictions. I tell them everything they want to hear. I'd love an opportunity to help you. Typically, they'll say, well, how much do you charge? At that point, I try to get them on the phone. But if I say, hey, do you have a good phone number? We could talk about this on the phone. If they're adamant, no, what do you charge? I just let them know. I say, hey, I charge half of first month's rent for placement. And then for property management, which I'll go over in a minute, I charge 7% of rent every month, okay? Property management. Most brokerages, mine, EXP, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, they do not allow you to do property management under the brand name. Yes, you can do property management, but you have to either do it under your own name or create an entity like an LLC and do it under the LLC. Keep it separate. Yeah, I'll get paid for the lease. I'll get paid $1,500. That'll be under EXP. And then at that point, I have them sign a property management contract with my LLC. The name of my LLC is Easy Property Management LLC. Okay? Property management, number two. So, property management, currently I have 3 units. I'm making a little over $600 a month. Not really doing much. I get, hey, I seen a cockroach. I have someone go spray. I take it out of the rent, and then give the owner a little bit less at the end of the month. The way I do property management is you have to have a separate account, a trust account. That account can only have that landlord's money. So you check your local laws and regulations, call car legal. But you do want to check and see, look at the laws about that. So you have a trust account. I have the rent come in at the first of the month. I hang on to it in case they need, termites or whatever, or anything comes up that I have to have it fixed. I let the landlord know. I said, hey, they have plumbing issues. It's going to be $500. They say, okay. I take it out of the rent money they paid that month. And then at the end of the month, I provide a net income statement for the landlord. And obviously it has the minus from the plumber and it has the receipt. If you want to get good at property management, have a good handyman, because plumbers will charge $800, handyman will probably charge $180 for the same thing. Okay, property management. My goal at the end of this year is to have 20 units. Okay, that's my goal. What I want is I want to be able to have so much passive income coming in that when I do go on this listing appointment, no pressure. I don't need the money I don't need the home to sell. I don't care if it sells, because I got money coming in for the property management. Eventually, once I get enough units, I'm going to actually hire someone to actually run the business. Okay? Number 3, broker price opinions. There's a lot of people who post on Facebook. They'll usually post something like, Keller Williams stole my money, or this lead provider, Zillow Premier, stole my money. This is BS. And then you'll see in the comments someone says, hey, you don't need to sell so many homes. Do broker price opinion. They baited you in. Broker price opinions are basically when the bank will pay you a couple $100 to go and appraise a house. You run the comps, you go and you take the photos, you create a little package, send it to the bank. It's typically for foreclosures. Okay? What else? Broker price opinions, it's very competitive. You may take the little class, spend $500, $800 to take the little class, get your little BPO license or certification, and then you don't just start getting orders. You have to go with every financial institution and sign up for alerts. Stop it. Stop. My son's getting crazy. You have to sign up for alerts. So it's very competitive, but once I would say you spend 6 months really putting the effort in, you'll just start getting pings on your phone, BPO, 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 BPO. And then you maybe go and do 3 or 5 a day, earn an extra $500 or $800 a day. Okay? Real estate photography. You have to have an eye to be a good photographer, okay? But I will suggest, if you want to be a real estate photographer, we could help you with that. I would recommend getting a good camera, or leasing one, or financing one. I would recommend you getting a good camera, because it's going to matter. But if you do get a good camera and we can let you practice on our properties, then we'll give you business. If you want to be a real estate photographer, we'll give you business. We'll give you a shot. Okay? Drone photography. Same thing. Hold on. Go ahead and. Okay. Real estate photography, drone photography. If you want to be a drone photographer, drones are typically around $1,000. You have to get a certification. Every time you're about to take drone photos, you have to run it by local aircraft ordinances, actually, to make sure no planes are flying by. And you might get denied. You might go out to a property and go to shoot it, and you get denied. You don't have air clearance. It's just the name of the game. Transaction coordinator. Me and Torin, we know a few people who were real estate agents, and then they couldn't handle the stress and anxiety and the pressure, and also someone hanging a $10,000 commission in front of you, and then they end up canceling. Real estate isn't for the weak. So they end up becoming a transaction coordinator, which basically it's a remote position. They only get paid if we get paid as agents. And typically they charge, the TCs that I know, they charge anywhere from $500 to $600, but they do everything. They handle all email communication between the agents, between the escrow officers, everyone. And good TCs will actually end up texting you and do a group text with you and your seller, you and your buyer, let you know what's going on in the transaction and also what they need from you. The most important thing that TCs do is they handle all the contracts, all the paperwork. They make sure that it's filled out correctly, that no box is left unchecked, no signature is missing, which in turn protects you legally in a way, because the contract's filled out properly, and also they make sure you're compliant with your brokerage. Mobile notary. So I did get my notary license, just like BPOs, extremely competitive. If you do want to get your mobile notary or your notary license for 4 years, it's like $500. You have to take a state test. It's a 91-page book you have to read and understand. Notaries are basically legal witnesses that watch people sign the paperwork. You don't even really need to know what the paperwork is. Your only job is to witness that person actually signing the document. And actually, the cool thing about being a mobile notary is if someone's saying, well, I don't know what I'm signing, you just say, well, I'm a notary. My job is just to witness you signing it. If you want to read it, you can, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I can't explain the contract to you. My job is literally just to witness you. I've seen mobile notaries. They're like, oh, this is my third one, for, it says, $75 to $200 per signing. But I've seen notaries get paid more than that. I've seen notaries get paid $400, $500, per loan package. So the way you get business as a mobile notary is you have to be best friends with escrow officers. Escrow officers typically dictate who does the signings. Attorneys, right? They'll send you out to have someone sign whatever power of attorney. Attorneys, escrow officers, lenders. Lenders typically say, oh, we're going to use my mobile notary, but typically the escrow officer has a say in it. Property preservation, which is a new one for me. Property preservation, let's say you live out of state, you have a home or a business, which actually I recently dealt with, and their job is to secure the property. They'll board it up, they'll put cameras, because homeless people like to break in and make it their party house, okay? Dealing with this right now in San Bernardino. The guy bought a dental office. The police have kicked him out multiple times. The police have boarded up the place multiple times. They keep breaking in. They stole the panel. They keep breaking in, and it's just non-stop break-in. So now they want to sell it as is. So, property preservation. Make a little company, start running ads for property preservation, and then you may actually be able to preserve the property and sell it too. Who knows? That's a new one for me. Lead generation business. I know as an agent, everyone and their mama is trying to sell you leads. You could do it too if you get good at it. If you can figure out how to generate leads, sell them to agents, you can make money. I would say, if you're going to try one of these side hustles, really try it for a few months before you decide that you don't like it or you like it or don't like it. Start before you're ready. Stop doing your research and just do it. Okay. Torin, you have any thoughts on BPOs?
I did get my certificate on it. I haven't pursued it. It was a backup option just in case. It was fairly cheap too. It wasn't that bad, but it is highly competitive. It is something that I'm probably gonna look into just because it's fairly easy, and most of the time, typically from what I'm told, you can do it right off your laptop. So it's a quick wham bam, thank you.
Any other side hustles that you can think of?
I think you kind of nailed all of them, man. Really.
Okay, cool.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it.
Thanks for tuning in. If you guys want more videos like this, join EXP.